Coucou des coucous! De retour à Exit Fate. On vient de se sauver du courtroom et de faire une mass battle devant notre château. Everything I built up is gone. Where do I go from here? Before I knew it, 5 days has passed. Had passed. Sorry to bother you, sir, but we can't wait any longer. You must make a decision now. Your men are confused. They want to know what's going on, but you won't tell them. Estimate that a few hundred men have already packed and left. If you wait any longer, this number will increase exponentially. You're right. But what should I do? I see no other option than to quit fighting altogether and leave the country. I want to help Zalmani, but I'll never be able to go back now. Again, I've been made into a traitor for crimes I never committed. Again, what? I would have been one thing if they just didn't understand my action, but they just used it as an excuse to get rid of me. I know I have no other choice than to disband the Elysium army, but it's all I have left. Without Elysium, I'm nothing. Sad, but I just don't know what to do. I understand that, but these people have the right to know what's going on, even if it causes them all to leave. You don't have a choice. The reason I'm here is because the captain has just released a statement. I've made it public, but I will have to do it sooner or later. A statement? She's calling for all members of the Elysium army to return Matrek before the end of the week. Everyone who does not voluntarily will retain their rank. Who does so voluntarily will retain their rank in the state army. However, anyone who fails to comply will be considered a traitor to the state union. Aside from you, everyone is eligible. They are trying to isolate you by putting your men with their backs to the wall. No trigger. It's over. As soon as this gets out, everyone will leave me. There's no point in staying anymore. If there's nothing we can do. The Elysium army is finished. It's over. That's not the Daniel I know. Can you leave us alone for a moment? Of course. Do you see now, Daniel? I was right all along. Zalmani and Kurgard can't coexist. There's a deep-rooted mutual hatred between the two countries. It may not always show clearly, but it's definitely there. You're evidence on that. As soon as they got an opportunity to convict you, they did it. No, you aren't right. You can talk all about how it's impossible to coexist, but at least I tried instead of immediately advocating the conquest of Zalmani. In fact, it's not even about me. Even if I fail, that doesn't mean it's impossible. My choices may not have been the best either. The path you want to take may sound good, but it just doesn't work in the world we live in. The struggle isn't going to end until one side comes out victorious. You understand, Jovian? The vast majority of the people here are no different from us. All they want is to live in peace. It's always a select few who ruins it for the rest, over petty arguments or because of their own greed. I know you're not the same as them, Jovian. You want to put out an end to the constant war between Kurgard and Zalmani too, but it doesn't work like that. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not possible to convince everyone through words alone. But you're wrong too. To the people here, you're no different from all those warlords before you who fought for their own reasons. You can't just conquer this country and tell them to like you. It just doesn't work. So what's the solution then? I don't know. Maybe this conflict has been going on for so long because there is no solution. Hey, if you say neither of us can do it, why don't we team up together? Team up together? Zalmani is approaching its end. It's almost inevitable now, especially now that they can't rely on the Elysium army. If you can't convince the leader of the state union, then I'll crush them. If I can't win the common people to my side, then you'll speak with them. Maybe the solution is somewhere in the middle. No, it's not necessary. Kurgard has been weakened too much to continue the war. We can finally put an end to it now. It's time to forge a long-lasting peace between the two countries. In their current situation, they can't refuse. You're wrong. Guess you haven't heard the news. The news? This war is far from over yet. The State Union of Zalmani has officially declared war on Kurgard Kingdom. What? I don't understand. They could have ended the war here. By doing this, they're announcing that they will now be on the offensive as well. Now Kurgard will not stop until they're at the gates of Matrek. How can they do this in their situation? It's suicide. Do you know what the worst part is? because of you that they've gone this far. You're now a traitor of the worst kind to them. In their views, they welcome you into their country only for you to stab them in the back. After all we've done for him, this is how he repay us. This is what they're thinking. Doesn't matter what your intentions were. They've already made sure that the majority will see you as an enemy. But I fought and risked my life for them to protect the land they live in. I gave them hope. That's right, you gave them hope. You showed them that Kurgard can be defeated, now that same home is turning them against you. Kurgard has shown once again that they can't be trusted. If we don't stand up to them now, they'll walk over us someday. It's in our nature to think that way. Daniel, do you understand now? We have to keep fighting. You and I join force, we can do it. We can put an end to the hatred. Till now, regardless of how hard it's been, I could always just do what I thought was right. Thought that if I just keep making the choices I considered right, I could achieve my goals. Now it seemed that's not enough. I've been too naive. I didn't realize that some people would not understand no matter what. Jovian, I have to apologize. Without directly realizing it, I betrayed our friendship. First it was just a sense of doubt, but it slowly grew into distrust and further. I blame you simply because I had nothing else to blame it on, and that was the wrong thing to do. Through talking to Angel, I realized it was me who had changed, not you. The longer we'd been apart, the more my view of you changed into something worse. I can't imagine what it was like for you, but at the same time, I couldn't understand why you'd blame me. Because of all the things you said to me back in St. Renard, we were similar in the sense that we both had dreams we wanted to accomplish. All that time I was just thinking, how far would he go to achieve his goal? Would he set up a close friend? Would he set up a close friend just to fulfill his dreams? See what you mean? If I had to choose between sacrificing my friends or never being able to pursue my dreams ever again, I honestly don't know what I would choose. Something you can't really decide unless you're actually faced with that choice. But I'll tell you one thing, Daniel. I was never in a situation like that. We may have different opinions, but not once did I consider you an obstacle. Then, I'm sorry for thinking you did. People make strange choices under pressure. I think the only one of us who'd put our friendship above everything else is Angel. Angel, are you angry at her now? Should be, but maybe it turned out as well for the better. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't be standing here together. If you're right, then even if my plan had worked, the peace in Zalmani wouldn't have lasted. Let's do it properly this time. Joven, even if I join your side, what about the Kelsinger incident? I'm still being held responsible for it. Don't worry about it. There's already some doubt about whether you were actually responsible for it or not. I know Kaiser wasn't really buying it, and I'm obviously on your side too. As long as you're on our side again, it'll be fine. We'll back you up. What if it turned out to have been all along? Been me all along? What do you mean? Angel told me about it, Jovian, about the times I did things without remembering any of it. What if something similar happened at Kelsinger Pass? She told you, and you still remember it? You used to forget only minutes after it was mentioned. Are you changing them somehow? In any case, even if you went out of control like before, why were our men under attack from soldiers? I don't know what really happened, but I do know that it had have been prepared in advance. It's nothing like those times. Tell me, Jovian, what happened to me at the time? Please, don't ask that of me. I don't want to think about it anymore. It was honestly one of the most terrifying things I've seen in my life. But if it wasn't me, and it wasn't you, then who was it? I don't know, but we'll have plenty of time to find out once the war is over, won't we? Ça commence à être évident. C'est que ça peut être, là. So have you made up your mind yet? That's right, I have to make a decision. Help me gather everyone at the meeting hall. I'm going to make an announcement. Je pense que je vais être correct. Cardio, blabla. Musique. Gorgée d'eau. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Il y a genre 150 personnes ici. Well, here we go. Everyone, I know the last few days must have been confusing for you all, and I must apologize for not speaking to you earlier. You may have heard rumor about what has happened, or what's going to happen. But what I'm about to tell you the truth, and nothing less. Before anything else, I want you to know that the captain of the Matrek Guard has issued a statement to all of you. Any one of you who return to Matrek before the end of the week will not be held responsible for what has happened here at Elysium. Those of you who choose to stay, however, will await the same fate as me, to be considered traitors to the State Union. I will not force you to stay. In doing so, you may forever forfeit the chance of returning to Zelmani. I'm only asking one thing of you. Please listen to what I'm telling you, and think about it for a while. You still have a few more days to decide. Now, most of you were present when we stood between the State Army and the Kirkguard 3rd Legion, and the rest of you will have surely heard about it by now. If you were there, you must also heard what I said at the time. The war will not end until we stop antagonizing each other. Though we all want to live in peace, not just a temporary truce, but a lasting peace, where no one has to worry about their future. There's a difference between worrying about your future and peace. Arpride sa laut matong. There's some battle that must be fought, even when the goal is peace. At the start of the war, Kirkguard had to be shown the power of the State Union before they could be convinced to withdraw. But when I stood there between the two opposing sides, I knew this was not a battle that had to be fought. I didn't want any of you, no Zelmanian and no Kirkguardian, to throw away their lives. Don't you understand? Zelmani has already won that battle by not fighting it. My actions were no more than a signal that the time had come to end the fighting. Do you know what happened to me after that? I was arrested to stand trial, but it was no fair trial. I explained my charges as well as I could, but the case had already been decided. False witnesses claimed I had plans to overthrow the State Union and seize power for myself. Do any of you, the people I've worked with closely, believe that? They convicted me for treason purely to silence me. They were deaf to all my arguments. All they saw was that I am from Kirkguard and I was no longer dancing to their tunes. Now tell me, is that a government you want to defend? The leader of the State Union are not looking out for your best interests. They are only interested in protecting their own pride under the guise of nationalism. At the same time, General Knight here, the one whose plan for conquest I ruined, set off to rescue me. If it weren't for him, you would never have heard from me again. Do any of you think that I'm lying, that I was conspiring with him all along? If that were true, Matrek would already be a Kirkguard province by now. No, even though this man rescued me, I did not want to help Kirkguard. I wanted peace, but that is no longer possible. State Unionists, in their blind ignorance and limitless foolishness, have issued an official declaration of war to Kirkguard. You understand what this means? Up until now, it was a one-sided battle. Zelmani was only defending their own territory. This declaration changes everything. It gives Kirkguard a justification to fight on. It will do nothing more than increase the strife between our countries and hurt the State Union even more. When you hear this, can you truly say that the State Union is acting in your best interests? Up till now, I believe that if we could make Zelmani strong enough to force an end to the war, we could improve relations diplomatically. Meanwhile, my friend Jovian here wanted to unite the two countries by force, believing that the only way to bring peace was to bring all of us under a single leadership. Now come to realize that neither approach will work. Talking will not convince those who only want to fight, and fighting will not convince those who seek peace. Therefore, I've decided to join forces with Jovian. Together, we can truly bring both nations together. Why should we submit ourselves to the will of Zelmani or Kirkguard? It makes no sense. We are more than just a band of mercenaries. We are a force to be reckoned with. We can make a difference. You want to bring an end to not just to this war, but also to centuries of hatred between our countries. You want everyone to live together in peace, then join me. The State Union is heading towards certain death, and its people can no longer depend on its government. Let it bring a swift end to this conflict and rebuild this country in a way that mirrors what the State Union was originally meant to represent. I'm not asking you to fight for Kirkguard. I'm asking you to fight for yourself. Once the war is over, I will continue to fight on your behalf. I will ensure that the wants and needs of the people of Zelmani will not be ignored. I personally guarantee that. So you want to be the leader? There's no need to decide right away. I've asked the State Army to send an envoy in 2 days to safely take anyone who wishes to leave with them. I repeat this once again, I will force none of you to follow me. You've done so much for me already. I will not hold it against you if you decide to back out now. Remember this, the State Union of Zalmani will not win this war. They have betrayed me, and they have betrayed their people. J'aurais jamais dû dire they have betrayed me. J'aurais pas dû dire la dernière phrase tout court, je pense. The real victors of this war will not be Zalmani or even Kierkegaard. The real victors will be us. Unsure murmurs. What do you think? Will it work? You made a lot of promises. Are you sure you'll be able to keep them? Continue to fight on their behalf. It's the least I can do. Bon. Shido. Bust. What do you think? Yes, what do I think? For men like us, it's only be natural to return to Matric, wouldn't it? Then why do I have my doubts? It's how it goes. Sometimes you just have to go against your own nature. You sound like you've already decided. Daniel's right. The government of the State Union is rotten, and the few people, good people in it, can't save it. It's the same reason I left in the first place. For the thought alone, to fight for Kierkegaard. No, not for Kierkegaard, for Elysium. That man will not settle for anything less than he promised. He's finally had a chance to show his true nature, and now he's going to become unstoppable, trust me. So is that it? Are we just joining the winning side? Does it really matter as long as you fight for something you believe in? So, do you believe in him? Yeah, I believe in him. I guess it's decided then. Excusez, je viens de voir quelque chose pour là, pas là. Probablement aujourd'hui. Yes, come in. Oh, du sort est à ma track. Oh, it's you. Sorry that I couldn't prevent this from happening. Even as a Chancellor, I can't alter the course of the law. Oh, it's me who should be sorry. I was the one who told you to take him in. You only gave me the advice. I was the one who followed it. Have I made a wrong decision, Jussolf? I think it was inevitable, although perhaps we should have seen it coming. Really? Ryan, you know that Daniel has been wrongfully convicted. Isn't there anything you can do to set it right? It's hopeless. There are many here in Matrek who are glad to see him gone, and even though they failed to realize the consequences. All I could do is pardon him, but that would mean the end of me. My inflation is waning already. Has it really come to this? After 30 years, have I become nothing more than a figurehead of the country I built with my own hands? Ryan, I came here to ask something of you. Please lay down your position of Chancellor of Zalmani. Is that advice from an old friend? Zalmani is surrounded by enemies. A large number of Daniel men may return, but Elysium will continue to be a considerable force. So it's a lost battle, huh? If you persist, it will be a bloody one. By resigning, you would break up the State Union and end it instantly. So you too believe that Zalmani has to vanish. Nations mean little to me, Ryan. This would be the fastest way to end the conflict. Sorry, this time I can't follow your advice. State Union is my life, my everything. I can't destroy what I spent most of my life fighting for. See. I wonder, are you really the same Ryan I once knew? Ouch. State Army Special Envoy is here. Everyone who wants to return is now being led outside to be picked up. Considering the circumstances, it's all proceeding very calmly. Do you have any numbers yet? How many people will be staying behind? It's a bit early to tell exactly, but I estimate that a little under half of the Elysium army is staying behind. What's more, it seemed that those who've worked with you in person are all staying. Half of them? That's a relief. I was afraid I was going to lose everyone. What about you? Should you be going back to the capital? Captain has no authority over me. My presence here is on direct order from the Chancellor himself. I will not return unless he orders me to. That is all. He hasn't? That's strange. What do you think that means? Is it a hint from the Chancellor that he still supports me? Not in my place to say. I'm only administrator. Ah, Mr. Vineyard. C'est un administrateur qui est pas mauvais. En combat, là. Bo, what are you doing here? Ah, so that's it. I heard that someone from a truck was going around trying to convince the people outside to stay here. That was you? Why did you come here? I believe the state is making a grave mistake. Although your innocence may have been in question, your trial and conviction were a gross violation of justice. I admire you and the way you stick to your principles, Mr. Vineyard. I may not be a soldier, but I love this country dearly. I've decided to help you fight this terrible corruption. You fight well with sword, but there are battles which are fought solely with words. In case of such a battle occurs, allow me to aid you. Fait que oui, on vient de recruter un avocat qui peut se battre en combat, puis sa main weapon, c'est un livre, so he hits you with the full with the book. With the full extent of the law. Thank you. I'd be happy to have you here. On va checker ces stats plus tard. Well, Jovian is waiting for me in the meeting hall, so I'd better get going. Je vais juste cocher. Je peux le laisser marcher par contre. Beau. Où es-tu, beau? Bon. C'est pas tant de monde que ça là, devant moi. Fait que je cherche Jovian et Beau. Jovian est ici. Spoiler alert, on va recruter Jovian dans 3 secondes. Pourquoi que Beau est pas là? Beau, il est là, ok. Je vais t'y prendre. C'est un papier mage, mais si c'est juste un papier mage, probablement pas. There you are, Daniel. There's a lot going on right now, but we have other matters to discuss. Did you hear, Jovian? 50% of the Elysium army will continue to follow me. Never expected I could convince so many people. Yeah, I've heard. It's great news. It's also one thing we need to talk about. The people in your old division of the 3rd Legion have all agreed to accept your command again. Without those of the Elysium army, you'll have quite a lot of people under you. Even though you're still officially a colonel, Kaiser and I decide you should get some special privileges. In practice, you'll be on the same footing as the Legion's general. If anyone refuses to accept your authority, I'll relay your orders to them myself. The Elysium army will not officially be a part of the Kurtgard Royal Forces, so we had to improvise. You and your men are more like an allied army to us. General Kaiser, does that mean you'll resume command of the 2nd Legion? Kurtgard commence à reprendre du pouvoir. Jovian, I should make it clear that we forced Kaiser to fight for us. He didn't. That's not true. I can take responsibility for my action. I chose to fight for Elysium myself. Kaiser's too much of an asset for anyone in Kurtgard to accuse him of treason. We're far away enough from the royal court that we're the ones calling the shots anyway. Anyway, I'll temporarily station the whole 3rd Legion here at Elysium, just in case Almani tries anything. Let's work together from now on, Daniel. Now, first of all, we should head to Harlington City. General Leonius is still there, and we'll be discussing how to deal with Zelmani with him. Kurtgard or encore les Helman Island. Harlington City. Haven't been there for a while. Let's go then. We can take a boat to Bayside and go to Harlington from there. Chapter 6. A Battle of Ideals. Fight for peace, kill to survive. If you want to win the war, first it must be lost. The laws of war. Oh. Good day, sir. I'm from your old division. I'm honored to be working with you again. Nice place you got here. Ok, qu'est-ce que le tutorial m'a dit de faire? Ou plutôt, est-ce qu'il y a... Il va aller me faire recruter du monde. Fait qu'on va commencer ça tranquillement. Mais avant tout... Et que j'avais... Ah, man, beau. J'avais Cole. Ayara. Angel. Hero. 5, ouais. Équipement, removal, Jovian. Ah, c'est vrai, je t'avais déséquipé. C'est beau, ça? Ouais. My usefulness here may be limited, but I'm still glad I decided to join you. It wouldn't have felt right to let such a blatant contempt for justice slide. Ok. On va regarder les stats. X. On va triager ça par frontliner parce que je veux peut-être utiliser Jovian. Probablement pas d'autre. Alright, Jovian se situe entre Kaiser et Griever en termes de frontliner. Et il y a une très bonne défense ici. Les secondaries sont à 103. Il n'y a pas de special attack donc. Fait qu'il faut que je le compare avec Derek. Puis c'est Griever que je prenais. Fait qu'il y a plus d'HP Griever, moins que Derek, mais Derek en a extrêmement beaucoup. Il est dans le milieu pour le MP+, mais on s'en fout. Moins de strength que Derek, plus que Jovian. Plus de magie que Jovian, moins que Griever. C'est lui qui a le moins de magic defense, mais il est à égalité avec Angel for all intents and purposes. C'est lui qui a le moins de magic defense par contre, ça fait un petit peu mal. Ah non, c'est lui. Ok. 90 de speed, 100 d'accuracy, il n'y a pas de special ability, 126 de skill, 98 de dex. Peut-être que je vais le garder. Puis après ça, on avait Beau. Beau, un average de 100.8 dans ses stats, 128 avec son mage, son main set, et 89% dans ses secondaries. Fait qu'il y a un decent 114 de speed et un 100 de dex. Fait que 114 de speed, c'est le seul secondary qui est important pour un mage, ce qui est bien. 117, on va triager par mage. Fait qu'il est meilleur que Juice, Nadja, puis Sid, puis Daniel, techniquement. Selon mes critères à moi. Ouais, c'est mon mage le plus rapide. C'est effectivement mon mage le plus rapide que j'aurais as a lawyer. Mais c'est pas... son magic attack est à 139. Puis Median est à 166. L'MP+, il est négociable, mais non. Okay. Alright, bon ben je pense qu'on va terminer ça là, mais il va y avoir du... Ah. Avant que j'oublie, on va mettre Sid dans notre équipe. Add... On va recruter quelqu'un qui va avoir besoin de Sid, apparemment. Fait que la prochaine fois, on va aller faire un peu de recrutement. Puis là, je commence à être... Allez de parler, moi là. Alors, je vais dire au revoir et à bientôt.